Alrighty, we'll continue with this morning's media availabilities here at Michigan International Speedway with three of our NASCAR Xfinity Series drivers driving in the Irish Hills 250. We have Cole Custer, driver of the 00 Haas Automation 4, Matt Tifft, driver of the number 19 Trinity Toyota, and Tyler Reddick, driver of the number 42 BBR Jason Aldean Chevrolet. Cole, we'll start. 3 consecutive Sunoco Rookie of the Year race awards. Can you talk about your performances the last 3 races and your thoughts heading into Michigan this weekend?
Yeah, we've had really solid cars the last few weeks, and we've made a lot out of it. I feel like at the start of the year we would have pretty fast cars and nothing would go our way, and now we have fairly fast cars and things are going our way. So I feel like we've been solid and stayed out of trouble and had good strategy, and that's what's kind of had our good run so far.
Great. Matt, we'll move over to you. You have 3 top 10s in your last 4 NASCAR Xfinity Series races, and you're making your track debut here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Michigan. Sort of a home track for you. I know you have a lot of family here. Can you talk about your excitement heading into the weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Growing up in around the Cleveland area, we would actually go watch racing with my family's car, a dirt late model up in Michigan. So I pretty much grew up watching and learning to love racing in Michigan. So it's I've probably been here 10 times before as a fan. I got to do the ARCA race last year here, but it's always special coming here, getting to see all your family and friends. Sort of a home track for me. Even though Mid-Ohio is a little bit closer, I've never seen Mid-Ohio before, so I guess I would consider this one more of a home track for me. So it's been, it's always cool to come up here and see everybody, and I got to hang out with some of them last night. So, but yeah, we've been able to get a couple strings of top 10s going, and I feel like the chemistry is finally starting to come together for our team. So that's exciting to see, and hopefully we improve even more on it this weekend.
Outstanding. Thank you. Tyler, we'll move on to you. You've driven in 5 NASCAR Xfinity Series races this season, and you're coming off your best finish of the season at Charlotte when you finished 10th. You'll be driving the next couple NASCAR Xfinity Series races. Can you talk about your expectations over those next couple races?
Well, hopefully we improve on that 10th place finish being my best. We've had really good speed over the first 5 races, I would say. Just unfortunately, 1, made some bad decisions. 2, been caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, especially at the plate tracks. So BBR Music Group Chevy's really fast. The guys, Chip Ganassi Racing, bring great race cars to the racetrack every single weekend. And when they've had Kyle Larson in there, who's doing really good in the Cup Series, the car's doing really good. So we know we got a couple variables out of the way. I just got to work on my my driving style a little bit, get adjusted to these low downforce cars here at Michigan in the Xfinity car. And fortunately, I have a rookie set to burn up and 2 hours of practice to get adjusted. So hopefully we take full advantage of that time.
Great. With that, we'll open up for questions. If you have questions for any of these 3 drivers, please raise your hand, and we will get a wireless mic to you. Right here, Zach. We'll go to Lee.
Zach Albert, NASCAR.com for Cole. Just how frustrating was the start to the season? Do you feel like the way you guys have performed and got the results the past few weeks that you guys have turned a corner?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit frustrating at the start of the season just because I felt like we had pretty fast cars at a lot of places and just didn't really get the finishes. And it was in a way, it was exciting just because I knew we had fast cars and we were a new team and everything. So it was good to start out with some speed, but it's definitely been nice the last few races staying out of trouble and getting the finishes that we want.
We'll go to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. For all 3 of you, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned making the transition to the Xfinity Series?
Probably being patient. I mean, it's a longer race than the Truck Series, and just trying to be there at the end, and you just got to constantly remind yourself pretty much the whole race, and I'd say biggest thing's probably just patience.
I think for me, it's interesting having raced in the series last year to this year, the difference in the stage racing and our, the low downforce package this year. Last year, you had so many strings of long runs, and you knew you were going to work through different strategies to where you're kind of going more for endurance runs, to where you had to make your car work for the whole time. You got to attack and be on it now, but at the same time, you have to get your balance close enough to where you're fast on the short run, because the restarts are so important, especially with the stages now. So being able to learn how to restart and how to stay with the Cup guys and not let them get away from you on the restarts and keep them in reach, and learning how they build speed on the front side of runs has been huge for me. And I feel like as I get better at that, it will kind of help our overall runs because, once you get into a run, it's hard to make up time that you lose. But restarts are just so critical, especially this year with the stage races and bunching everybody up. So that's been the biggest difference for me. Just from last year to this year in the Xfinity Series, it's kind of changed a bit.
Yeah, the cars drive a lot different than the trucks do. I've kind of had to take everything I learned from the truck and kind of put it over here in the corner and start from scratch. And the first couple races, the first race was for me was Daytona. Then I had Phoenix, and then we went to Texas. And when we went to Texas, it was a repave, so it was really hard to say, is it just how these cars drive at all these tracks, or is it just Texas? And when we finally went to Charlotte, I finally got an idea what these cars really drive like, and I had to change a lot of things from when we tested there a couple weeks before the race, and then we tested at Darlington, and then we finally raced Charlotte. And I feel like I picked up a lot between those 3 times on track, and I'm not quite there, but I'm a lot closer than I was. And obviously, when we come here to Michigan, there's going to be a lot to learn. Cars are going to be going a lot faster than you will at some of these mile-and-a-half racetracks. And aerodynamics come into play definitely on the mile-and-a-half tracks. People are getting loose without even having contact with one another at Charlotte, and it's only going to be worse here. So just have to keep that in mind. Work on our car to be good on those first 2 stages, and then I would be surprised at the last stage. If we do have a caution, I would be surprised. It could just go green. So I'm gonna have to work on short run speed in the beginning of the race and maybe something mid to long run speed at the end of the race.
Additional questions for these 3 guys up here? I'll have one more. Tyler, I know it sounds like you're making your debut with MRN next week. Can you talk to us a little bit about that as an analyst?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I like to talk, so I'm going to enjoy that. It'll be a lot of fun being up there to commentate on the truck series. It'll be cool to, it's going to be weird, but it's going to be fun to watch the, BKR with Chase and Austin in those trucks. It'll be fun. Like I said, it'll be a new experience. Hopefully I do a pretty good job. It'll be fun up there with those MRN guys. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how I'll do. Hopefully I don't do too bad at it. So we'll see.
Awesome. Anything else? Okay, Chris, right here.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Matt, how important was it to bounce back last week at Pocono after what happened in qualifying and get another top 10?
One of the weirdest situations I've ever had, for sure. Obviously, when you're presented with an issue like that, at first you're frustrated, you're confused, you're pissed off. It's just you gotta forget about it and get over it. And there's plenty of times where things happen that you got to start in the back of the pack. So we were able to work up. I think we passed 16 cars in the first stage and got ourselves back into the mix by about halfway through the race. So the hard part about that is, you're trying to get a read on the balance of the car through that first stage to make yourself better for the second half of the race. But as these guys know, it's just when you're stuck in traffic like that, it's so hard to get a true read on what your car's doing. Clean air at a place like Pocono is everything. Because you actually get a true sense of what your car needs. When you're stuck in dirty air, you're getting bad reads on it because there's just so many different cars that you have to get by and get around. So, luckily we were able to make a few strategy calls and try to stay out on old tires there and made it into the top 10 and we're able to stay there. So that was great, but obviously you wish you could start up there and be able to contend more in the top 10 other than having to fight back from adversity, but makes it fun sometimes trying to get around everybody too.
Before we let you guys go, Cole, Matt, as Tyler's going to be broadcasting next week. Is that something you guys would ever be interested in doing too? Or?
I don't really talk very well, so I think it would be interesting. I think I would want to do it, and I'd like to get better at it. But it would be interesting. I think it would be fun.
I don't think I'd be the best play-by-play announcer. I think Tyler would be better at it.
I don't know. The only way to get better at it is to try it and see how it pans out.
Yeah.
But,
I'm impressed, Cole. You said well instead of good, so your grammar's all right there. So I think you're talking all right.
We'll go to actually Claire, and then we can wrap up after that. Right here in the front.
Claire Beelang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I just wanted to add that, Cole, even though you're shy about talking about yourself, when it comes to analysis, I've found that you really are talkative and very good at it. Don't you think it'd be interesting to do analysis, and that I think you'd actually be very good at that?
Yeah, I think I could definitely. I feel like I talk about racing all right. It's just I can definitely get better at it, like all of us can. But obviously it would be pretty fun to do though.
Cool. Well, thank you guys and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.